Hello, team. I saw, yes, we're a team now. I saw Poor Things last night. It was actually a fancy preview because I'm an influencer. So you're currently getting influenced on whether to see Poor Things or not. It was at the Everyman Cinema in Borough Yards. There was a little red carpet, the shortest red carpet I'd ever seen in my entire life outside. And on it was stood what I quickly learned was a sort of performer in like a Poor Things outfit, who I tried to talk to, and then I realized she was just there to stare down everyone who came in, almost like some kind of live art experience. So I was like, oh, right, they're really going for it. I walked in, they were giving out goodie bags with like props from the film in them, or like fake props, like stuff that there's no point explaining if you haven't seen the film. But yeah, one of them was a pastel de nata, pastel de nata, because in the film they go to Lisboa, and they eat pastel de nata, and so I nicked about four of them. There was one per seat, but the front two rows weren't full because I think they were using two screens, and so I nicked four. So I saw Poor Things. I'd say the context to this review, it's important to say that I'm not the biggest fan of Yorgos Lanthimos. I found The Killing of a Sacred Deer very creepy. I found The Favourite fun, quirky, unusual. I can see why it got a lot of awards buzz, and I quite liked the performances. But afterwards, I was like, I don't really want to spend time with this in this world ever again. I never rewatched it. What was the other one that I saw? I've forgotten. I didn't see The Lobster. Anyway, not the biggest fan, and I tend not to be a big fan of films, especially comedies, set in kind of gaudy, heightened reality kind of worlds. So, apart from Yorgos Lanthimos films, other examples would be like Delicatessen, you know, the fucking what's it called film, the guy who directed Amelie. I also don't really like Amelie. Just that type of like really vibrant colours, or like the fucking weird lenses that he's using, or like everything's a bit quirky, everyone speaks a bit different. Not because it's a period drama, but because they're trying to be quirky. And like everyone's a bit disgusting. So like, for example, Emma Stone's dad in this film is it's like he's just disgusting. Like he's hooked up to tubes when he eats because he doesn't have any stomach acid, and he's like this surgeon who like cuts people up, and it's all just a bit minging. Like they set the scene as really minging, and the production design is very is just very out there. The only way I could describe it when I was chatting with my mate after is like, it's almost Wes Anderson from hell. So it's like, don't think about the symmetrical shots or anything, but the production design is like Wes Anderson on crack. It's like Fantastic Mr. Fox sometimes in the way they do some of the backdrops. So like backdrop of London, or they go on a ferry at one point, and it almost looks like stop motion in some ways. When they go to Lisbon, it almost looks like a big giant toy city. Very strange. Anyway, the whole reason to give that context is just because that type of thing normally puts me off films. I can't really tell you why. You know, like on TV, like The League of Gentlemen was similar in a comedic sense. Like everyone's a bit disgusting and everything's a bit grimy, and you can feel through the screen, the grime, and you can smell the stench. It's like that. I didn't realize that this story was almost a Frankenstein story. It's not a spoiler because it occurs in the first like kind of act, or it's in the trailer, I think. I actually didn't watch the trailer before I went. It's about like how Willem Dafoe finds Emma Stone's dead body, and it has an infant inside of her, and so he takes the infant out, takes the live brain out of the infant and puts it in Emma Stone's body. So Emma Stone is now a baby in an adult's body, learning the world again. It's quite strange. Based on a book, apparently. So I hadn't seen the trailer, hadn't read the book, and on both counts, I wished that I had. So I would advise that you do so if you want to go see this film, just because I needed like a thread to hang on to. There were certain points in this film where I was like, I don't know where this is going. I don't need to know what the ending's going to be. I just felt like I didn't have a sense of like the journey or the arc. And I was like, oh, is this just like a mood piece? Like, are we just watching her go through her existence? And then later I was like, oh no, it's not. It's like it's got this kind of conclusion, and I'm not going to give anything away. But I wish that I'd had those threads earlier on, because at times it was losing me in the weirdness. I was like, oh, this is just a whole fucking it's a whole bundle of weird, and I'm kind of done with it. Like, an hour of weird is enough weird if it doesn't have a point, but I didn't realize it had a point. So there is that. I'd watch the trailer or read a synopsis of the book or something if you're going to go. It is one of the most fucked up films I've ever seen. And I said to someone else, I was like, there's been 3 films in the last 12 months that are 3 of the most fucked up films I've ever seen. 3 that would be in my top 10. The first one was Beau is Afraid, which again, I didn't really like because of the reasons that I said at the start of this video. The second one was Saltburn, which I really enjoyed because it was fucked up but felt grounded in a reality that I understood, and in a period that I understood. And then Poor Things. A lot of the fuck-uppery involves kind of gory surgery or like very, very out there humor about body horror, mutilation, sex, relationships. And so just to get more into it, I would say I really enjoyed the performances. I can see why Emma Stone's getting a lot of recognition for this. She has to perform like as a baby in an adult's body, and then she has to get older and older and wiser, and I think those transitions are done really well. I think she handles the comedy alongside I don't want to say horror, but like the uneasiness of it really, really well. And alongside her is Mark Ruffalo, who I think gives it a real lightness of touch. And whenever he was in a scene, I felt safe. Like I felt he grounded it for me in a way. Even though he isn't like the main character and he isn't supposed to be a relatable character, he felt the most like real. Like he felt like he was the one reacting to the weird things Emma Stone was doing or the weird things around him. And sometimes he did weird things himself. But his performance grounded the film for me, and so I really enjoyed that. And he was really funny. I laughed throughout, actually. And that was the thing for me. I felt as though when I was laughing, the film was working. And when I wasn't laughing, I was quite tired with it. And so up top, I would just say, we're not up top now, we're 8 minutes in. Up top, I would just say I preferred The Favourite to this because I found The Favourite more of like a consistent comedic romp. Whereas this felt like it walked the line between comedy and, like I say, I can't think of another word, horror. It's not horror, but you know what I mean, horrific things. A lot more. And turned me off quicker. But it kept getting me back on board, you know, and off and on and off and on. And throughout the film, I was like, I appreciate what this is trying to do. I really love it when someone's trying to push boundaries, however much I like it or not. I said to my mate after who came with me, I was like, I'm happy to not like a film. I just want people to be like pushing their vision of what they want their film to be. So like, that's everything from Saltburn being made into like this viral sensation, sexually deviant, like fucking all over the place hit. Like, yeah, push it to the very edge of what you want to push that concept. Like, I think that's great, and I ended up enjoying that, right? Even when Tom Cruise does a Mission Impossible film, I'm like, yeah, jump off a fucking cliff. Like, do what you want. I do enjoy a lot of Mission Impossible. I don't enjoy all of it, but I appreciate that Tom Cruise is pushing what he wants out of an action film to the very edge. And that accounts here for Yorgos Lanthimos. I don't really like what he's doing personally. Like, I don't enjoy all of it, but I really appreciate that he has a vision and he fucking executes it. You know what I mean? Like, he's not pulling any punches. Some of the, from the cinematography to the score to the way this story goes, and apparently deviates from the book quite a lot. It's fucking his film. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's very unique, and more power to that, I guess, is my point. Like, you go for it. I can't say that I enjoyed all of it, but I don't think he'll give a fuck. And I think there will be people who really will enjoy all of it. So I won't be watching this again. I don't want to spend time in this world ever again. The characters often repulsed me, but I did find things funny quite a lot. I'd say if you like this type of film, so we're talking The Favourite, The Lobster, Delicatessen is another good one. League of Gentlemen style comedy. If you like that type of thing, go, because you will fucking love it. And if you saw Beau is Afraid and you liked that, fuck off. Then you'll really love this as well. But it's not for me. So I won't be revising my top 10 in 2023 anytime soon. I don't think my rating is really relevant here, based on what I just said. Anyway, see ya.